Hello there. In this video, we're going to look at making our notification banner for our design system. So let's go. Okay, I think we need to go and we need to steal some states. So let me just grab these for now from the text field. Let's go back to the notification banner. Let's click in here. Let me just paste those in. Okay, so we don't need all of these states. What I want to do is just delete out the ones that I don't need. So let's just have a look. So we're going to need error, alert, success. Let me just rename that to alert. Okay, I'll add one more at the bottom. For now, we'll just call that default. And actually, let's just move that all the way to the top. Okay, let me just click back here. Let's rename this one to default. And let me just Command Option K. And let's just drag this across. Okay, so we've moved that default notification in. Okay, so I press Command D to duplicate it. I'm just going to detach this and let's just rename it as error, which is the next one we're going to need to do. Press Command Option K, creates it as a component. I'm going to select both of these now and combine them as variants. Let's press Shift A to create an auto layout. Let's set it to vertical and let's just adjust the width so it hugs. We can tidy the page up as we go. Let's apply some spacing variables. Okay, that's good. Let's just go in here. So this one is meant to be error. Okay, so let's click on error. Let's go to the fill. Let's click on that color. Let's type in error. And let's apply, let's apply error 50. Doesn't need to be too intense. What I might do with the buttons here is change the primary over to a secondary and then have a tertiary as well, just so the color doesn't look strange on different backgrounds. So that might match in a little bit better. Let's just click in here. Let's click on the error. I'm going to click on the plus because I want to add another one. And this can be alert. And I'm just going to change this property name to type, just for now. Okay, so this would technically be the alert color. Let's go into the fill and let's type in alert. Let's select alert 50. And just out of curiosity, what's 75 like? Is that too intense? Yeah, it might be a bit too intense. So let's click on the alert. Let's click on the plus, and this one will be success. Click on enter. Let's follow the same pattern. So let's type alert. No, let's go back. Let's type success, and let's do success 50, which I think is what we're using for the other ones. Yeah, that's 50. Now I feel like for consistency, the fill of the default should be a 50. Now 50 in the neutral is going to be too dark, so let me just go up to a brown color. Let's just take 50 in the brown color. Maybe we could use that temporarily for those kind of default notifications. I think until we start using them, it's going to be hard to tell if that's the right color and if it's going to clash with anything, but let's apply that for now. If we need to make any changes, I can always come back and make those tweaks. Okay, right, I definitely want to increase the spacing between these items, so let's set that to 24. I'm just going to go into states. I'm going to have to override this here because I don't think we have enough space. Just set it to 200, maybe that's a bit too much. Okay, I think that should be fine, that should do. Okay, let's drag an instance out of this notification banner. So let's drag the default one out. Let's click over here. So the functionality that we have so far is just selecting, should probably rename this from type to states. So let's go here, change that, and we'll change it to states. Okay, so we click back on. So yeah, we can cycle through the different states for this component. That's all the customization that we have for the moment. Should probably name the component as well. So let's go up here, notification, there we go. Okay, so now we've got the basics locked in. Let's go back and apply some component properties. Okay, let's go into the first one. Let's command click and select the heading. Let's go ahead and multi-edit the variants to select everything else. And let's click here to apply a variable and property. Let's click on the plus. Let's add that as heading. We'll leave the default value as heading. Let's create that property. Let's go over here. Okay, so that works. If I just add in some extra text, yeah, we can amend the text there, so that's good. Let's click here under the content and let's multi-edit variants. And again, let's click on apply variable property. Let's click on a plus and let's just put content. We'll leave the value as it is. I'm going to create that. Let's go back to this version. Let's just change it. Make sure we're changing all these things across the different states. So yeah, the heading we can update. That's good. Let's add a couple of exclamation marks at the end. That works on the content. Okay, so for the button section, I just want the ability to turn it on or off because I'm probably going to manually go into both buttons or just one button and customize it further. So let me just go up here. Let's go to multi-edit variants so it selects all of them. So that's the buttons frame within each of these notifications. Let's go to appearance and click on apply variable or property. Click on the plus and I'm just going to say buttons and we'll set the value to true. We'll create that property. Now let's go back. Let's toggle to another notification. Let's go to alert. And here we can see we've got a buttons toggle here, so we can just toggle it on or toggle it off. So if we need it, we'll keep it on, we'll go in, we'll manually change the buttons. But if we don't need it, we can just simply turn it off. And as you can see, the notification is responsive. So when you remove the buttons, it then condenses the space. So if I right click and reset this instance, it resets and then we get everything displaying by default. Okay, so on this page, I want to add an example section as we've got a couple of different use cases where we can close the banner or where we can expand or collapse the banner here. So let me just go and I think we added it here. Yeah, let me just copy this section out. Okay, so we'll lock that page, go back to notification banner. Let's click here on the page. Let's just click on the page, let's paste that in. Okay, so let's remove what we don't need. We don't need these two components for now. Okay, so let's start with our first example. Let me just paste in a sentence I've got here. So dismissible, users can close the notification using the X button. So let's add an example of that. And we can just put in any of these. So let's place that in there. Okay, I've just adjusted that slightly. So we've got the dismissible example. So users can close the notification, use the X button. If I just Command D, duplicate that. And now let's go in and let's just adjust the text here. Let me just paste in a new sentence. So we've got expandable. Users can expand or collapse the message to view more details. So let's just adjust this as well. And also let's just correct that. Okay, so what we'll do, let's just duplicate this a couple of times. Let's set these to horizontal. Let's just adjust the space between. So set that to 24. And let's go in here and add an example. So let's just change the cross to a chevron. And we'll do that to chevron down. And what I want to do is, let me just click here. I want to turn off the buttons. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide that text as well. So you've got the heading. So I'll just put an example here. So example heading. And we'll do the same here. In other design systems, you can probably give real world errors or alerts. For now, I'm just going to use this example text that I've got here. So let's go in here into the expanded state and let's just adjust that icon. So that's going to be chevron and that's going to be up. And what I'm going to do is I'll just hide that button for now. Let's just hide our menus for a second. So we've got the two examples. We've got the dismissible example, so users can close the notification using the X. Let's make it an error for now, so it stands out. Let's hide those again. And the expandable example, users can expand or collapse the message to view more details. So you can click on the chevron, it then expands the message. You can then collapse the chevron, it then goes back to just showing the heading. Okay, so I think those examples will come in handy if people are jumping in and out of the file, so they'll have example usage on how to use the component. I think most of this is done now. Let me just go in here and just double check the page. Okay, one thing I can see, if I click on the page, scroll down, I can see there are detached colors, and this one in particular, if I select it, it's showing me that the cross is set with no design system color. So let's go back to the style guide. Let's click into the cross. Let me just select the one next to it. So they're currently set to neutral 900. So let me just go in here. Let's select neutral 900. Okay, that's good. Let's go up here, let's close all these layers, and let's just republish this again. So let me just put some notes. Okay, let's click on publish. Okay, so that's been published in the style guide. Let me close that. Just zoom out. Looks like I've got some updates in this file, which will be related to the cross. Let's update. So yeah, that's no longer a problem, so that's good. Okay, I'm just going to double check the rest of the page. Okay, I think that should be okay. So let's go across here. Let me just double check that I've captured everything that I need. Yep, that should be fine. So I'm going to delete that testing frame. And let's just go here, click on the notification banner page, and let's collapse those layers and lock the page. Let's go up here to assets, and let's go to libraries, and let's click on publish, and let's just add some notes. Okay, that should be fine. Let's click on publish. Okay, and now that component is available to use in our UI kit. Okay, one last minute change is that first notification banner I've renamed to general information, so it matches the sentence above. So I've updated that and republished the component. Okay, what I'm going to do is, let me just go home and let's go back into the research file. Okay, so we've completed our notification banner in this video. We've previously done our radio buttons. Let's focus, and in the next video, let's do a text area component that we can use in our UI kit. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for getting to the end. Like and subscribe, add some comments, check out some other videos on my channel. And yeah, for the rest of the day, I am going to attempt not to melt. I've got an icy drink, and I'll just not hold that over my laptop because that's living life on the edge. Anyway, one thing before you go, I'm looking at analytics in YouTube and it's telling me that 92.9% of you are not subscribed. So you're there, you're in the background, you're watching the videos, but you're not subscribed. So if you're getting value from this channel, click the button wherever it is on screen to subscribe. It really helps me build the channel out further, to know that it's reaching more people. And yeah, hopefully we can build lots of great stuff together. So yeah, wherever you are in the world, have a great day, have a great week, and I will see you in the next video.